Hello all, welcome to another quick learning. Today I'm going to be going over random numbers in Google Sheets. So there's two reasons I can think of that you'd want to do random number generation. One is you just want to create sample data. So you're testing out an application and you want to test out the data, let's say you take from Google Sheets into another application and you want some data to test that on. You can use random number generator to generate that sample data very easily. Second one is if you're doing Monte Carlo simulation, you need to be able to simulate some numbers. So let's say you have sales and you want to give it a certain sales number that's randomly generated. You would have a distribution, let's say a normal distribution on those sales, and then you'd use a random number generator to pick out what those sales numbers should be. So I'm going to go over two different functions to generate random numbers. The first one is the rand function, and as it says here, it generates a random number between 0 and 1. So if I go ahead and you got to put the parentheses there, and you can see if I do some more examples, they're all between 0 and 1, and it will give you a evenly distributed, so each number has an equal chance of being represented in the data set. One thing to note, if you start working on other parts of the Google Sheet, it will regenerate these numbers each time as it recalculates the sheet. If that's not what you want, the way to change that is to go ahead and select it and then go ahead and go paste special, paste values. So now you've pasted the values and they're not the calculation, so now you can change the spreadsheet however you want and it won't recalculate those values. So that's the rand function. There's also a rand between, and that's going to give you a random integer between two values. So you set a lower bound, so let's say 1, and let's say we're simulating a dice roll. So it's a d6, so you'd have numbers between 1 and 6. And that will give you an even distribution between 1 and 6. And you can see we got numbers from 1 to 6. And if you simulate it enough times, each one of them should come up about 1/6 of the time. Alright, so now we know how to do numbers consecutively in a range. What if you want to do numbers that aren't consecutive? You can set your own range of values. Let's say you want to do numbers like this. So I want either 1, 5, 10, 15, or 20. So we can use this rand between function in conjunction with the index function to give me a random choice of these numbers. So we'd use that index function. And we have to give it what's called a reference, which is just the set of cells that we want to pull the numbers from. I'm going to do F4 to lock those cells. And then row is equal to rand between. And we're going to do from 1. And then we're just going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 different possible values. So that we do 1 to 5. And then the column doesn't matter because there's only one column here. So the index will just pull from this one column. And you can see if I do this several times, I will get values of 1, 5, 10, 15, or 20. Alright, so today we learned about the rand function, so you can get a random number between 0 and 1. This is most helpful when you're working with a known distribution like the normal distribution or a triangular distribution or a Poisson distribution or something that you want to map those random numbers to give you a value. And then we also looked at the rand between, which will give you an integer, which is a whole number value between your lower bound and your upper bound. And you can also use the index to set your own custom values for pulling a random choice from. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you very much.